We got three funny questions this week.
All right.
A younger man says, do you know the story about the coin in Lakewood? And minting coins in Lakewood? No. The story is that the mint mints coins. And every year they make several coins that are limited edition. Now sit here. Here's the place. You can even eat the food. So it's set up for you. And discounts I don't know about, as you'll soon see. The very opposite of discounts are going on over here.
Never heard of it.
But be it as it may, they make coins, a limited edition, that then becomes a collector's item. So they have this, usually annually, they have a silver dollar that they make 60,000 pieces of, and then they trade for whatever collectors, anywhere. It could trade from anywhere from $1 to $1,000, whatever the market will value it at. Unbeknown to the mint, or maybe perhaps yes beknown by now, but they can't figure out how to get around the Fruma Olam, what to do. I mean, they've thought that they figured out the system. So you could only buy one coin per family. You can only buy it online from the Treasury Department. You could only use one credit card. If they catch the two people use the same credit card, it don't work. It has to be a separate, a different address. You can't be under 18. They think they had it figured out. So 60,000 people will buy the coin, and then they will. And if collectors, well, that's the market. No, a few Yiddelach figured out that. Wait a minute. These, you pay $1 for a coin, and you can sell it for 100. It's 100% profit, right?
Oh yeah. More.
No, it's 1,000. Sorry, it's 1,000.
$2 would make it 100.
Exactly, 1,000% profit, and it goes up from there. Look, it's in short order. This year.
Yeah, but the actual cost is $60. It's not $1. The
right.
face value is $1.
Right. I'm talking about the dollar, but they're making more than 1,000% return, as you'll see in a minute.
Yeah, 'cause I bought one.
You bought one of those
I
coins?
don't know if I should sell it or not. I have one.
What is it worth right now?
Still sitting in the box. I don't know.
Okay. So, let me not jump. Let me get one thing at a time.
Who makes it?
The U.S. Treasury, the mint. They make, the U.S. government mints coins from time to time that are collector's item, limited edition. They're not going to ever print another one of those. And they sell them. But they don't want one person, Joe Schmo, should come and buy all of them and then become rich. It's a collector's item, so they sell whatever they
have to do with Lakewood. Lakewood.
You give a minute. Give a minute. So, only one per family is sold.
Right.
So a few from dealers said like this. They go around every year to Younger Light, and they said, you know what? You buy the coin. It's $60 around this year. It was $60 a coin. You buy the coin, and we guarantee you, we're going to pay you $150 for the coin. $150. Now, in the past few years, the big collectors don't know what's going on. Usually, it wasn't that hard. You buy these coins, they go out for $60. Individuals, mom and pops buy them, and then you pick them up on the market for $70, $80, $100. These big collectors that have to provide these coins for the uber rich or the people that are looking for these coins. All of a sudden, the prices are going through the roof. What's going on over here? So what's going on is that every younger man in Lakewood that wants to make an extra $50 or $75, and they tell you exactly how to do it, because that system could crash. And it's very hard, because when it comes out on the day at, say, 12 o'clock afternoon, they tell you how to get all your information on the computer and how to have it all ready. And if it doesn't, to click again. The kids, they give you a manual how to do it. No guy knows how to do it. Only Lakewood knows how to do it, and a few people in Brooklyn. So the kid said all the coins are bought up by yeah. So this year, to help the situation, to make it better, to make the situation better, they only minted 30,000 coins, and they were quickly disappeared within 15 minutes. They were all gobbled up. They were all bought. Huh?
One zip code.
Exactly.
One address. Say that again. What?
Yeah. So now this younger man asked me a shaila. It wasn't a shaila that he's asking me a shaila. the dealer called him up. Okay, send me the coin. I'll send you $150. He went online, and this was already 2 days later. The coin didn't come to him yet, and it was already trading for $600.
Wow.
As we speak now, it's trading at around $1,000
And it was purchased at what? It was
at $60.
He didn't take delivery yet.
He didn't get the delivery yet. So it was already trading for $600.
Should use mine.
It's trading. So he called up right away. This is a younger man, a Talmid Chochem. His father's a very choshev at all. He didn't waste any time. He called up right away to Rabbi J.D. Bleich, who is a mumche in Choshe Mishpat. I learned in his koil for 4 years.
YU from YU?
Yeah, YU. And he's a straight shooter. His Choshe Mishpat is his expertise. And he asked him, "What's the deal?" So Rabbi Bleich said, "No question. Which credit card did you use?" He said, "I used my own credit card." He said, "And did the delivery come yet?" "No, delivery didn't come yet." He says, "You have, this is your coin. It belongs to you. Be mevatel the shlichus." He said, "Do I have to call he said, "You don't have to call him. Just say that you're mevatel the shlichus. You're not a shlichus. It's your money. You didn't pick it up to be coin it yet for the other person. So you didn't coin it yet. It doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to him. It's your money, and when you pick it up at delivery, you'll pick it up
Your
for
money
yourself."
being the $600 is
No, $60. The younger man.
But it's worth $600.
So now he should say, "I am not buying it for Chaim Yankel. I'm buying it for myself. And when the delivery comes, you should pick it up and have in mind that he's buying it for himself.
It's yours.
And then it's his, and he doesn't have to send it to the dealer." And he sent an email to the dealer telling him that, and the guy said, "This is so dishonest. I can't believe you do this." So he said, "This is the rabbi's number. Call the rabbi." So the guy wrote back, "You're joking. I can't believe it." Now this younger man, who's an Edel younger man, asks me, "Okay, so Rabbi Bleich told him what the din is, but maybe this is a Ramai. Ephraim is a Ramai. Ephraim, like it says in Ephraim, that's in the same pasuk, it says Ephraim with a vav and without a vav, because he said big words and then he didn't. It was a Ramai. It was a Ramai." So now he's bothered. He doesn't want. He wants to be erlach. He wants to do what is the right thing to do. He wants to do the right thing.
What's he chayiv?
So this younger man, his father is a choshev rov and dayan. He told him you should write immediately an email to the dealer before you get delivery, telling him that you're being mevatel the shlichus, and you're notifying him about it, and you're giving him the telephone number of Rabbi Bleich. So you're being very erlich. But still, this younger man had a problem. Maybe he's not being erlich. So let's look at this Gemara here. Sagt die Gemara in Kedushin auf Nuntes Amud Aleph. Rabba bar Bachona Yoav leZuze lerav. Sometimes we have cases in things and situations in life where you have to squeeze and squeeze. What would Chazal say about it? But usually when it comes to money issues, it's flat Gemara. You'll find that a Gemara somewhere flat. This is a flat-out Gemara. It's not a question that you have to look somewhere in the Rishonim. You could also learn the Rishonim to understand it better. It's a flat-out Gemara. Rabba bar Bachona Yov leZuzi lerav. Rabba Bachona gave money to Rav. Omer lazovnan ne'ali lahayadya. Buy me this piece of land. He sent them as a shlichus to buy him a piece of land. So Ozal zoven lenafshei. Rav went and bought it for himself. We're learning the Braise that the deal is a deal, but he's called a Ramai. So the Gemara answers that this was talking about a field that was in a land of the people that owned it were Anoshim Alimim, were not very nice people. There were Anoshim Alimim, bullies, mafia. The lerav nagi bekovid. Lerabba babachona loy nagi bekovid. You have people. This Rav is good and this Rav is terrible. So that was it. To them, Rav was a good guy. Rav babachona. That's what Rav babachona understood. He understood intuitively that if he wants to buy the land, he shouldn't show up himself. He should send it Rav. So therefore. it wasn't. Rav understood that Rabbi Bachona couldn't buy it. It was impossible for Rabbi Bar Bachona to buy it. If he came with a pouch of money and said, "Here's the cash," they would spit him in the face and say, "Get out of here." So, therefore, Rav didn't feel. I shouldn't say the word. Didn't feel. Hat nicht gehalten. He didn't think that he's doing anything Ramos, because it's not like Rabbi Bar Bachona could have bought it on his own. Rabbi Bachona, there's no way he could buy it. So originally Rav was thinking, I'll buy it for him. Then he decided, no, I want to buy it for myself. There was no Ramos here.
Was there an agreement between them?
Yeah. It was an agreement. Rabbi Bachona gave the money to Rav. The Rishonim say, as we'll see,
To buy the land for him.
Yeah.
For him. So often he goes out on his own and says, I'm going to take it for myself.
I'll take it for myself.
I don't understand.
So he said, because that's what the Gemara says, because he knew that the sellers would never sell it to Rabbi Bar Bachona.
So what? What does it do with their verbal agreement?
Yeah. There's a verbal agreement between the two of them that he's buying the land for him.
Yeah, so what that he wouldn't sell it to them? What is
He's buying it for himself,
an agreement.
Can he transfer ownership to
No, you'll see. And let's just finish the Gemara.
Yeah.
The Gemara says, why? So he should have notified Rabbi Bachona that he's terminating the shlichus, that he's not going on a shlichus anymore. So the Gemara answers, Sovar adohochi v'hochi also inish achlin azav Allah. It was a situation where he was thinking, if he's going to go back, he didn't have a phone, he couldn't send him a text message. So by the time he would walk back to tell Rabbi Bachona it was a good deal, apparently it was a good deal.
Of course it was a good deal.
It was a good deal. But he was thinking, by the time he's going to go back to Rabbi Bachona, I'm sorry, I terminated the shlichus, someone else is going to buy the land. As he won't have the land, and Rabbi Bachona won't have the land.
But the question is, when he is buying for the other rabbi, if he would not tell him, here's the money, go buy me, he would not even think to buy this. So because of anybody.
Yeah.
He has the deal.
Yeah.
He has the deal.
But that's the bottom line, and that's what's the halach in Shulchan Aruch. Hanoisa mos loken schoy shemish mit some kuf pei gimel. Hanoisa mos lechavere litnes lekarka metaltelin. Venius mos chavere etzle v'holav akon alatzam ma'osav. If someone gives you money to make a purchase, and you take his money and you leave it in a pouch on the side, you don't use his money. So if you use his money, it's complicated. Yeah. You don't use his money. You use your own money and you go buy that item for yourself. Masha also osi. Whatever you did, that's done. It's considered a rama. If he knows that there was no way that the seller would sell it to the Mishalech, he has mutter, but he has to notify him. Likness, that is a kernel atzma, he could be kernel for himself, and then notify him. So over here, bottom line is...
So in other words, the bottom line is that even though he was a Ramai, it's still legal.
It's not an Amai. He was not an Amai. Because the mint will not sell 2 coins to one family. So it just like in the case of Rabbi Bar Bachona, that the Rav said that the sellers will not sell the land to you, only to me.
Right.
So therefore, if I'm going to use my own money, not only am I allowed to do it, and the deal is a deal, but I'm not even considered a Ramai. I'm not even considered a Ramai. The same thing here.
The agreement with Rav.
No. I guess it's not considered a Ramai.
The deal
it's
maker
not considered a Ramai. Same thing here. The mint will not sell 2 coins to one person.
Yeah.
And since this younger man used his own credit card, and there was no way he was able to use the dealer's credit card, because they have it in their system, 1 coin per family. So therefore, he used his own money, and the delivery was not done yet. So if the delivery was done, you could say that Bapashtas, when he picked it up at his door, he was aldas for so even though he used his own money, but he was already mezakir to that person. But since he didn't take delivery of it yet, so and it was his own money, so not only is it mutter to do, but he's not even considered a Ramai. And I insisted that this younger man should not be a fool and give it to the what's it called? The younger man sold it. Baruch Hashem, he made $1,000. Younger man made $1,000. So the seller, who is a durchgetriebene, businessman, So instead of making on this deal whatever he was thinking to make $500,000, he made $1,000 less.
Checking on eBay, actually going for over 1,000 already.
No, but this guy sold it already. This younger man that asked me the shayla sold it
He's got to
already.
give the kids money first. If he gives them the money before the package arrives, then the dealer has his deal.
But he never took money from the dealer.
Right,
The dealer
that's the thing,
couldn't give him money. He used his own credit card.
I missed this setup.
So if the dealer really wants to cash in, he's got to invest something. He's got to let the people hold
Yeah, if the dealer
The preface is that.
hold
If the dealer gave him, there's no way the dealer could have given him because he has to use a credit card. He has to use his own credit card.
From community.
Anyway, that's the bottom line. But the bottom line is what happened. This is what happened. Okay. Anyway.
If you give him money, it'll make him more complicated.
What?
If you gave him the money beforehand, it'll be more complicated.
Yeah, make him much more complicated. He would have to say. So if the Soicha gave him the money, you would have to say that I put that money aside and I had in mind. And this if you're in the monos and not in the monos, that's already later in the simon. It gets complicated. But this case was simple. It was dry and cut. The younger man used his own credit card.
What about the inside information that's worth money?
Right.
But we see here in the Gemara also. Apparently, it looked like from the Gemara that Rav didn't know about the sale. Rabbi Yochanan let him in on the sale. Yeah.
What's the difference in the first case when it's Buhusha Yenu, which means before the sale,
Yeah.
and the second case which says Archas Yenu?
No, in order to be ethical, he has to be mediyah before. It's not that it's going to ruin the deal. It's in order not to be a ramai. But if he's scared that he's going to lose out by the time he goes and tells him and comes back that he doesn't have any time to be mediyah him, so then he doesn't have to be mediyah him.
If he was talking about non-disclosure or something, not compete, to change the...
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Basically, the originator of the deal.
Exactly. You got
What do you
it.
say?
He says, don't do it with younger light in Lakewood.
The originator of the deal, it's his risk. He's got to know he's
But
proceeding.
you're caught between a rock and a hard place here. If you do it with a goy has no ethics anyway. A yid,
You'll sue him. Does he have a contract?
No windows and no doors. Kitchen.
I don't know, because it's an illegal contract.
Why? It's a contract for sale.
He's not allowed
No, it's illegal. They're not allowed to do it. They're not allowed. Then when the Treasury is going to get onto this, this is not going to be. It's not going to be nice. They're not allowed to do this.
It's illegal. I don't know. The mid can't control. They just want to control the market. So they...
I don't think they're allowed to do this.
You didn't pay for a chorus of I mean, because he was the gay, he was no chorus of
You should say Yeshikoyach. You should call him up and say Yeshikoyach. Yeah.
no commission, no give him a commission.
Chazaka Baruch. Yeah, that's what you should. Okay.
He was a risk when he gave the other guy the money. He put himself at risk.
Next time I call
Then there's a
you,
problem of Dina de Machosadina also.
I can make more
Problem
money.
is-
No, why is not Dina de Malchusa? Why Dina de
Because if it's
Malchusa?
legal to begin with, and they're doing it. then-
Forget the Dina de Malchusa was on the side of this younger man.
It's a contract for
Right.
sale.
It's a Dina de Malchusa was on the side of this younger man, not on the dealer's side.
Right, right.
Yeah, he's dealing with
I don't think you could make a deal when something is illegal. I don't think it's legal to
I'm
do
allowed
such
to
a
buy it
thing.
off another person. A collector-
Yeah, but you can't to be first
Just to
make
fix the
this
deal.
deal with people to go to game the system.
to fix mine.
The mid doesn't like it, but
You'll be an accessory.
I don't know. I don't think it's legal,
Maybe an accessory.
but it's irrelevant. if it's
He
legal.
doesn't know. How does he
It's
know?
clear.
He didn't know it was illegal. Is that an accessory?
He's doing something.
No, I don't think it is.
For the dealer to make a deal with the younger man that he's going to buy for him, I don't think it's legal.
We need the deal.
I'm saying that also because of Dina de Malchusa, also the younger man could keep it, but that's not relevant.
They figured that out. They buy it.
After the people buy it, I don't think he can make a deal before.
Right.
So they
But he made a deal before. That was illegal.
you buy. And they said, listen, you buy it for 65.
I don't think. I'm not a collector. I don't know. Maybe you're right.
So
I don't know.
all the guys.
Next Shaila.
1,000 guys. They buy.
Someone asked the Shaila. So
And they take.
his son was in a hurry coming back from the mikveh, Erev Shabbos, and he banged into the side of a car. He thinks it's a goy's car. Loma zogn, near the protem, whatever he smashed. He smashed, say, the mirror. Yeah? And then he ran up to the house, Shabbos, Lichbenchen, put away the muktzeh, gang in a shul, and then he said to his father, Oi, you should leave a note. Actually, he didn't leave a note saying that I was mazik, and therefore I should pay for it. You're not allowed to be mazik a goy. Huh?
The insurance will cover it.
Maybe.
Maybe yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's premium.
Premiums to go.
Maybe it's premium.
For the bicycle.
Maybe it's not kedai for him to make. Huh?
Yeah,
He did it with the bicycle. Now you're giving away who it is. How do you know so many details? So the Gemara says in Baba Kama, Moide isei be'erev Shabbos min hashmoshes shu poter mitnei sherotz berishus be'erev Shabbos. My berishus ik here Rabbi Chanina. Rabbi Chanina. Before I continue, so the Gemara says that that Isi agrees that erev Shabbos ben hashmoshes, when a yid is running and he's mazik someone else, then he's potter from paying. Why? Because he ran berishus. What's the rishus to run now? So the Gemara says, the Amr Reb Chanina, boy v'neitzi likras kala malkasa, v'amr lo likras Shabbos kala malkasa, and Ayanai Mesatev, v'koi v'omer boy kala. So Yid is now hurried to greet the Shabbos ben hashmoshes. So therefore he's running bereshus. Grada, there's a beautiful Marsha. The Marsha says that there's a what's talking the double lashon here in the Gemara. And Chanina went out towards the Shabbos, and Rabbi Yanai waited for the Shabbos to come to him. And he says because there's two minhagim. The Yid is the chosin and Shabbos is the kala. And there's two minhagim. There's the minhag is that the chosin goes towards the kala. And there's another minhag that after they get married, that the kala, Isha Sheda, greets her husband. So one opinion said it has to be like a chuppah because Shabbos is coming in. So therefore I have to run towards the kala. The kala sits and the chosin comes to Badekanish. Right? So the other Patana said no. It's already this man that Shabbos has to come towards the Yid. Okay. Anyway, Bereshus, that's the din. The Rambam writes. 1 second. The Rambam writes. Let's learn the halacha first. Shnaim shem mahalchim Bereshus Rambam. Two people going in Bereshus Rambam. Echad rotzach mahalach. One is running and one is walking. V'huzik echad mehen b'chaveda, and one was hurt by the other one. Shaloi b'kavona. Zeh rotz chayiv. The person that was running, he's chayiv to pay. Neshu mishana, he was mishana, because he was running. He should walk and pay attention to what he's doing. V'moya erev Shabbos ben hashmoshes potter. If it's erev Shabbos ben hashmoshes, it's potter. Why? Neshu b'rishus urotz. He's running with rishus of Chazal. Kedei sheloi tikon Shabbos v'u'einei ponui. So he doesn't want the Shabbos to go in, to come in. He has to run home quickly before Shabbos. So therefore, he ran b'rishus. So I yoytzim in a klal. A lot of the Meforshim say the pshat is like this. The Charonim talk about this. They say the pshat is like this. It's not stam azach. The thing is, when a person walks, he has to be careful. Certain things he has to take care of. But I don't have to be careful if a Meshuggah is running. It's not my responsibility to take note if someone's running. But Erev Shabbos, I do have to take note if someone's running. Because I know that everyone is now running. Erev Shabbos, they're running. So I have to be. That's what some Acharayim say. I have to.
He's running because he didn't make the proper achanas for Shabbos.
No, every Yid is taught it. Every Yid is taught it. No, every Yid. Not a Peshaya. Every Yid is taught it.
But what about a guy has to also be? He says a mazik who's going 40 miles down there.
40 miles an hour down 16th Avenue.
They do.
I don't know. There is rots. Yeah. Let's go into Shulchan Aruch.
Is he running 40 miles an hour?
The Shulchan Aruch says Chosh Mitzvah Tzimen Shin Ein Ches If Ches. Chosh Mishpat Tzimen Shin Ein Ches. Next paragraph. Hoya Echad Rots. Hoya Echad Rots V'Echad Mahalach. If one person was running and one was walking, V'Huzak Mahalach Berots. And the person that was walking was damaged by the person that was running. It's chayiv. Why is it chayiv? Bnei sherotz shaloi berishus. Medvar when mechalav berev Shabbos ben hashmoshes potter. Bnei sherotz berishus. The Rama writes, "V'dafka b'stam the talina derotz l'tzorach Shabbos. Avalim yedua shein derotz elo l'shor chavotz." It has to be that we know that he was running for tzorach Shabbos. But if he was running stam azoi for something, lo shaycha b'tzorach Shabbos chayiv k'may b'choil. Okay, so now. There's an important Nagos Ashri. Next line. He learns from the Rosh and from Rashi. Lav, he says these words. Lav davke ben hashmoshes. Ela mishosh maschilan l'taken tzorich Shabbos. Lefes olavashel velitzlas arehu berishus. Dahaina mechatzi ayon. It's a very important Gagos Hashri. That's not mashma that way in the Rambam or Shulchan Aruch and the Gemara. He says, ben hashmoshes is lav davke. Lav davke ben hashmoshes. From chatzoi sayoim, a yid has to run already because he's getting ready for tzorich Shabbos to cook and to bake and to roast. The Mishnah Berurah brings it in Oira Chaim, in Simon Reish Nun in the Biur Halacha, and he says an interesting Lishitosa. He says that there is, we find Alter Rebbe brings a tafke, he brings as a machloek. The Alter Rebbe says that there's two dinim. There's the preparing for Shabbos, Erev Shabbos, and then there is Bein Hashmoshes. It's like a second inyan of preparing for Shabbos. So he says that maybe there's a machloekis. Is there a chiyuv a whole day, or the chiyuv is only Bein Hashmoshes? And then the Mishnah Berurah says, you know what? Never mind the pilpulim. The Shulchan Aruch and the Gemara says Bein Hashmoshes. The Ptur is only Bein Hashmoshes, and that's it. The Ptur is only Bein Hashmoshes. So if it's before Shgia, it doesn't apply. That's what the Mishnah Berurah paskins lalochas. It's funny, even though the Mishnah Berurah wrote only on Oira Chaim, never in any. So I found a Chosh Mishpat psak from the Mishnah Berurah in Shulchan Aruch, because that's what he says in Bir Halacha. But the Aruch HaShulchan, helft the Eibishter, and Simon Shinai Ches in Chosh Mishpat, Aruch HaShulchan did write in Chosh Mishpat, and he flat out says, no, he says, what's the shaila? Shulchan Aruch says Ben Hashmoshes doesn't mean Ben Hashmoshes. He says that anything that's Samach l'Shabbos and he was busy. So that's what the Aruch HaShulchan holds.
All these things that they mentioned, all these malachas that he's running for, are things that he can only do before Ben Hashmoshes.
Yeah, but that's a Gos Hashri. The Mishnah Berurah says that Gos Hashri could hold that way, but the Shulchan Aruch and the Rambam say Ben Hashmoshes. The Pashas, they disagree with the Gos Hashri.
It makes so much more sense that it's before Ben Hashmoshes, because no one's running once Shabbos is in. There's nothing more you can do now.
Right,
you
exactly.
You can't cook, you can't carry, you can't do nothing.
So I agree also to the Aruch HaShulchan. And I'll tell you why, because look invited here. I quote here from the Shittim Mekobetz's last 3 lines in this paragraph. That Shittim Mekobetz's writes, Odem Torud Liknas Tzorche Shabbos. So that's, you see clearly in the Shittim Mekobetz's Arishan. V'shailinim beGemara be'erev Shabbos ma'ir shus ika. What's the shail in the Gemara? Koloimar. Kiven the noket ben hashmoshes ubein hashmoshes ein derech ben brisli is also betzorche Shabbos. He explains. He says it's a dova poshut that the Indian is that he's running reshus to buy tzorche Shabbos. The Gemara says ben hashmoshes. So he explains that the Gemara wants to know if this din also applies bebein hashmoshes. And the Gemara says also Ben Hashmoshes this applies. So the Gemara asks, Ben Hashmoshes, what, you found a store on Kingston Avenue, on Avenue J, that's still open, Ben Hashmoshes, after Shkia? What are you running now? Where are you going? Oh, because even though I finished buying, but I'm running to Shul, I'm running to Beis Menachem Mendel to come in time for Kabbalah Shabbos. So for Mincha, I'm running to be Mekabel. I'm running to be Mekabel Shabbos. So not the pshat when the Gemara says Bein Hashmoshes that it means only Bein Hashmoshes. So according to Shittim Mekobetzes, it means a chidush. Not only if you're running an hour before Shabbos. You could say I'm running because it's an hour to Shabbos. It's already Bein Hashmoshes. What are you running? Still, a Yid is running to be Mekabel the Shabbos. There's one more nekuda. The Mukher Yosef next line writes: "Shorcha fotzes the l'shaych b'tzorech Shabbos chayiv." If you ran for anything besides tzorech Shabbos, you're chayiv. The Smeh in the Shulchan Aruch writes an unbelievable chiddush. He wrote that the Ramah is mashma that if you run quickly to go home, not to Mechal Shabbos, you're chayiv. Only if you were buying chicken and you're running back with a bag full of chicken or lettuce. But if you push it running back home from the mikveh because it's late and you don't want to be Mechal Shabbos, that's not called running b'reshus. Who told you go earlier? But the Aruch HaShulchan says no, that's not the mashmos of the Ramah. The Ramah just said that it depends if it's tzorech Shabbos or yurcha fotzim. But running home quickly in order not to be Mechal Shabbos, that's tzorech Shabbos. That's tzorech Shabbos. Doesn't matter. So Memela, I would like to go with the Aruch HaShulchan. Not only that, I told you this is a golden rule in Chosh Mishpat. A person could always say kimli. The Bezin says this opinion. Okay, I like it. You hold like there's a Yid over here. The other day we had a shir, and I said that Advaz says a certain psak. He said I disagree with that Advaz. So usually in Oira Chaim, We don't go that way. But a Choshe Mishpat, a person could come to Bezin and say, I'm sorry, I don't like that advaz. And Bezin you can't just pull this. But the Tumim says that only applies if it's a shitta, like, if all the opinions in Shulchan Aruch say one way, then you can't say Haknish and China. If the Shulchan Aruch and the Ramah and the Sma and the Shach and so everyone on the page says one way, and you found up in Oxford, you found up an Aksav Yad over there from the Talmud or the Ritva that says your way. Sorry, that you can't say Kimli. But in this case, even though the Mishnah Brura says that Bein HaShmoshes means only Bein HaShmoshes, and even though the Smeh, who's a Choshev Poisek, says that means that you can't be running only Tzorchi Shabbos Mamish, not because you're scared that it's late. But the Aruch HaShulchan is a very big Poisek. B'chalal and Lita, they went to Aruch HaShulchan, it was very big. They went with the Aruch HaShulchan. So this Talmud still is.
He was more makel.
So this boy could definitely say Kimli like the Aruch HaShulchan. I want to go like the Aruch HaShulchan. You want to go, if the guy wants to paskin like the Mishnah Brura, let him to deal with the Mishnah, let the Mishnah Brura pay. But the boy could say, I'm paskening like the Aruch HaShulchan. So how could you mechayiv me to pay? So therefore he's put to pay.
In any case, to decide what the din is?
No, depends. Not to be moitzi mama from my pocket. Not to be moitzi mama from my pocket.
You can take it.
You can't take money out of my pocket if I say Kimli.
So then, what's the horror of the bezin? If the bezin gives up psakim, you say no, I go like the other opinion, then
The Bezins usually knows the opinions. And
they
then
can go like the other opinion.
they take that into account. Bezin takes all that into account. It's not
And
easy.
what was the answer?
That's why-
If the guy is the one damaged with what we're saying about that you're running for Shabbos, then you're still punter?
That's what I'm saying. The Aruch HaShulchan is makel on
Even
two
if it-
things.
even for
He
the
says
guy-
even after anything that it doesn't have to be ben hashmoshes, anytime after chatzos, and it doesn't have to be that you're running with a bag of chicken in your hand. If you were just running
What
home
about if
together,
the guy is the one damaged?
So
The guy was damaged,
He
yeah.
lives in this neighborhood.
The guy
he
was
should know
damaged.
that
Yeah.
people
the
rush
guy was
before
damaged.
Shabbos.
The guy was
I just
damaged.
want to be.
He
The guy
should
was
have-
damaged.
he should be aware that people rush
Yeah.
before
There's
Shabbos.
also a story, of course, that before Yidden came to America, they used to be Machal Shabbos, Machasram. What am I saying? They used to do Chilu Shabbos after Shkia, and then there was a whole race to make the first Banish Moshes because there were two Shkias.
Right.
I mean, they even say that the Moshe and the Satmarov had an agreement. The Satmarov said that they used to do Malacha in Europe after Shkia, and the Moshe got them to agree not to, because it should be, let's just go to do, but they shouldn't do any Malacha. And they said that the Moshe agreed to make the Shabbos 72 minutes. And they said that the Sami kept their bargain with the Rosh Hashanah.
I've heard that.
So, but since that became already, that is not an argument here to say.
I'll just say that the reason why you would say that it's not the Benish Moshe is because that's when you're really running. And those before Shkia Zachama, you know it's still not Shabbos. Once you get to Shkia, the time they're really running is to make that second Shkia.
But Lamaisa, the guy's car is parked. Every case that we're bringing, the guy's walking. So they like to say.
And also, it's Roy Yidden that live in this neighborhood. Anytime you're going to go to a mikveh in Flatbush or in Borough Park, there's a chazaka that 90% of the people that are living around you are from. So what's the shayla? You have to go back to the guy. I'm saying it's not a guy is a different shayla. A Yidden is also a different shayla.
No, if you're saying mitzad chil Hashem, I agree with you. But if you're saying mitzad the din, listen, the din is a din. If the boy doesn't have to pay if it was a yid, Kolchkin doesn't have to pay if it was a goy. The only I do have a problem. It's true that the Gemara is only talking about echad rotz v'echad mahalach, where you have to say watch. I have a shus to put my chafotzim and a shus arava, so I don't have an answer for that.
But maybe you should know to put it. Maybe you should know to fold this mirror in because this guy's on bikes and running back to the mikveh.
The old mirrors don't fold. Fucking illegal place. The old mirrors don't fold.
Let's ask the bike rider. Was the mirror foldable? Was it a foldable mirror or not?
Probably. They're all foldable. He parked it was an illegal space.
They had no rishus to put it
You
there.
didn't have rishus. You should have told it all at the beginning of this year.
Then we would know what to say.
You know those cars that have the bumper sticker? This car doesn't make a Chil Hashem?
That's the guy that's going over. That's the guy that's hunking everybody. I'm a pusher the year. Meanwhile, he's hunking everybody. He's so pushy because he needs to go faster than everybody else.
So there's a story with the Rogachev and the Ur Sameach. It's a story that's Yiddish sort of cynicism. Not cynicism, it's like sarcasm on steroids. Mamash azoi. So, the story goes like this. I have to help him cook. They had a disagreement. They were talking and learning, and they had a disagreement. Okay. So I remember in the Bronx, there was a building I used to go there. There was maybe 50 Jewish families, all Russian families. Used to make a seder. There was an old guy, and he told me, "Ich bin von Dvinsk." And when I was a little kid, my mother brought me to see the Rogachev. He was sitting in the shul. I said, "Do you know who the Rogachev was?" Zucher weiß ich. The Rogachev is the Rav from the Hasidim, and Reb Meir Simcha is the Rav from the Mesnagdim. I mean, this guy in Judaism knows zero. All he knows is, doesn't know Yom Kippur. He knows that Meir Simcha is the Rav of the Mesnagdim, and the Rogachev is the Rav of the Chassidim. Anyway, they had... Huh?
What was his last name?
I don't know. What's the Oyer Sameach's last name? Oh, Kogan, right. It was a Cohen, Kogan.
Kogan is in Russian.
Oh, because really Cohen. Oh, okay, fine.
Can't say hey.
Oh, okay, fine. Cohen. Anyway, they had a machloikis in learning. So the Rogachev said, you know what? The Smith says in Simon Dalet that das balabatim hepach das Torah. Let's go out and ask a balabos if he agrees with me and you. Whatever the balabos will say, we know the opposite is true. So they went out. It was Erev Shabbos. They went out, and the balabos was listening, and he says, I think the Rogachev is right. So the Meir Simcha says, you see? So the Rogachev says, no, wait a minute. Erev Shabbos, and a Rot says Potter, because he's a little tzamish. He really wanted to say like you, therefore he said like me.
You gotta have a Jewish cup for that.
The Ramesh Arsamech said it's no chiddush that the Rogachev knows in Torah Kula, because every day Chazos to Torah Kula.
Wow. One more shayla, someone asked this week that why is it a cappella? Why do we say 3 times Parshas Aktoides? They did the Aktoides in the Beis Hamikdash twice. Why do we do 3 times in the week Parshas Aktoides?
How do we do 3 times?
In Chabad does 3 times. One before davening Shacharis, one Ein Kolokenu, and then Pitum Aktoides, and the one before Mincha. So it doesn't make sense. They did in the Beis Hamikdash twice. Why are we saying it 3 times? Chabad says it 3 times a day. Doesn't make sense. So there's an answer for it. Very important. The emesis that the union of Ketores is an unbelievable thing. People don't realize the importance of saying Parshas Ketores. It's considered as gula because Ketores is a gula for Ashidus. It's as for Ashidus. A person is not nizik kolois hayoim. There's unbelievable things that are said about Parshas Ketores. So the bottom line is that Amos says like this: that a person should say Pitum Aktoides twice, but he says Acharat Tefillah. However, our meaning is to say Koydem Tefillah because Apik Habola makes sense to say Koydem Tefillah. Magen Ram said Somar Chiyim Lama Ana Imre Mesa Achar Musaf, and Shabbos we say it after Musaf. It doesn't make sense because the Ketores went before the Musaf. Be'efshe the Kavaseinu lifter metoich divrei Torah u'biksovim iseh shatam la'avriach haklipus. Because before we go out of shul, we're scared that maybe there's some klippas waiting outside the shul, and the shul we're safe. But you never know when you go out. There's a couple of klippas waiting for us.
What kind of klippas you do? Klippas
in pajamas. Usually here they're in pajamas.
Yeah, bad guys. Bad guys. Bad guys. Yeah, bad guys. So the Shalah writes, and the Shalah calls of Lamar B'Shachar Koydem Tefillah V'Acharei. He says that's what's mefurish in the Shalah, that you say it before and after the Tefillah. Shlachor doesn't make sense. Elamai, he says I'm right. That you say it before the Tefillah, the Ketores, because that's what I avoid in the Beis Hamikdash. And after the Tefillah, you say the Ketores because that's to protect you. Chabad says it once before Shacharis and once before.
It should be 4 times. So you should say after Mincha also.
No, because we say Enkel Akenu, just like Enkel Akenu. There's certain things we say in the beginning of the day to protect us for the whole day. Yeah, that's a separate thing. We go out in the morning, we go out Lavedose Adei Orev. So before we go out, we say Enkel Akenu and Pitum Aktoides to protect us for the day. So it's a different cheshbon. This Pitum Aktoides is a different cheshbon. And there's a little bit of a nafkamina because, like, for example, there is those that say dafka from a cloth, and they say every word, and they say Bekavona, and it's brought from Psorim HaKadoshim that if you, you should be very careful to say every word. and the Kiyadua that the Rebbe used to count with his fingers. So all that perhaps is more negeya when you're doing it before Shachris, before Mincha. The one that we say before Leinu is to give us protection for the rest of the day.
Like Elenu is. That's what we say Elenu after every
exactly. And then Kolakenu. This is to protect us for the rest of the day.
Wow.
Okay, I have a little more about this, but we'll leave it in Mitzvah
It's
Shem.
like Tillim, that even if you don't have Kavanah, it's a Shmir, you have to have Kavanah.
You have to have Kavanah?
So by Tillim, the David and Miller made a Tefillah, right? Well, that's two separate things. Tillim should be like talking Menachos. But the Shah is they say that even if you don't have Kavanah, when you say Tillim, it still has a Shmir effect.
I would say even with you don't have Kavanah. And when we have time, I'll get to it. There is a beautiful story in the Zohar, but...
Why do we say 3 times?
So twice, once before Shachris, one before Mincha. That was a Shaila. Once before Shachris for the Kodesh Shal Shachris, once before Mincha for Toldos before Mincha. And the one we said after Shachris for protection, it's a separate Inyan, not because the avoid in the Beis HaMikdash.
It's a segula.
And it's a segula. It's brought in Sforim that the Rav Sternbach brings in Shuvas Vanogas that a couple came to him, they couldn't have children. Rahman al-Islam. I mean, this is a Rebbe Shamaisa, Rav Sternbach. And he says that he told them to say Pitum Aktoides, and like those minhagim that are brought in Seder Yom out of a cloth, and they did it every day b'kavana gedola, and they had a baby.
Wow.
That Rav Sternbach telling his own nest, but he's not. Listen, he's telling you what he is not. It's a miltza b'taima. He's telling you. Yeah. Okay, so that's why he has. And I mean, in the Sfarim HaKadoshim, there's so much about what it does. So it's brought in the Sefer Yeshuas Yisrael that the person that has a request should say with a lot of kavana the Ketores before davening, and when he says L'Doire Seichem, he should stop before Toner Rabbanon and talk to the Eibishter in Lashon Kodesh preferably, and say the Bona Shalom, please, whatever with your heart, the Bona Shalom, and there's a Segula Nifloa for Yeshuas. Right before you say Toner Rabbanon. Right before you say Toner Rabbanon.
After the...
you say then Toner Rabbanon, basically Torah Shebeksav and then Torah Shebapeh. So you're sandwiching this in the Torahs between the Torah Shebeksav and Torah Shebapeh.
Preferably in Hebrew.
Preferably in Hebrew.
I asked the Rav once if you come to Mincha, you don't say you didn't finish all the Kabbanas, can you say that? He says, of course. In other words, you shouldn't jeopardize davening in a minyan to dive into saying Kabbanas.
That's Al Pi Nigla, but I'm not sure Al Pi Nister, because it's brought in Sfonim. Also about Mincha. I don't know.
You can always say it afterwards.
Could you come back to it?
You could come back. I'm telling you, Al Pi Nister, I think there's an Inyan that should be Dafke Kesidon. Versteht sich that you can't say it Al Pi Nigla, because Al Pi Nigla, well, you can't miss a minyan. But I'm just telling you that there is something there Al Pi Nister to go Dafke Kesidon.
From the guy is sure, there was a shine what the minute was in Yeshiva. See, he told me it's more important to do the kabbanas and the guitarists than doing Haidu.
Really?
So people want to say the minute when they do Haidu, they don't do guitarists. I said it's not true. I said the Dafka kabbanas was the early thing.
Wow.
Those were Baal Shem Tov.
Wow. Okay, so Mitzvah Shem, well, when we get a chance, we'll continue a little bit on this Ketores thing. Maybe shall help them, the attack and the schus that we learned now about Ketores, and attack and the Chofetz Chaim says it's a moedik schus to, when you learn about Ketores and talk about Ketores, it's a moedik schus to bring Mashiach Tzedkeinu. So the schus that we don't, we should bring Mashiach Tzedkeinu.
Amen. Thank you, Rabbi.